Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome for week number 15. Welcome, everybody. Good morning. Okay, let me know if you can hear me well. Yes, right? Yeah, you can hear me well. Okay, so we're about to start today in a new week. Yes, this is our week number 15. As you know, we're about to complete or to finish this semester. This is our, you know, 15 week. So today we're going to talk about, like a very interesting topic, which is about applications, like developers. So this is the topic that we have for today. What is the objectives of the class? We're going to learn to what a business application development is, and also let's identify the type of business application developments. This is the one we have for today, the topic. And if you already have like, for example, like any type of, like business and you, that depends, the type of company for the one you work for, that there are a lot of applications that we can use in our businesses, So we have different type of, like businesses and applications that we can use, and also let's identify some of them, because in here there are different type of like developers that we can like use, because as it says, when the process of planning, when we design, create, and test any type of application, this is the one that we have for today. So in here then I'm going to show you one of the. Okay, let me turn my camera on because I guess you cannot see me. But now, yes, yeah, you can see. Okay, so then here it says, what is a business application development? It says that a business application developer is to create. They create software solutions tailored to meet specific business needs. And these applications can range from customer relationships management, that's the meaning of CRM, customer relationship management, system to inventory management tools, enterprise resource planning, that is ERP, the accounting software and mobile apps designed for businesses operations. So even I just see there are different type of applications that depends on the type of field for the field you work for, but there are different type of applications that they are really make our life easier, all our tasks faster, so we can work more efficiently when we use those applications, because in there when we use them in our office, in our job. So you see now, one of the terms that is, like being heard, recently is automatization. That means that we can, do the task without, like the use of human resources. That doesn't mean that you are not, like a very special for your company, or that they don't need you anymore. That is not true. Some people are really afraid because of artificial intelligence. They think that probably in the future, artificial intelligence is going to replace human places. But I think that that is not true. I think that what is going to be replaced is, for example, those people that can use all technologies or applications or AI. So that's why we need to study, we need to continue learning in order, to be like more proactive people and well educated. So that's why in here, and remember that all the applications are created and developed by, like professional persons, so by humans. So they are not going to replace human beings. The thing that they do is that they make our life easier and all the tasks faster, and there are different type of applications, but we're going to see here, it says, what are some of the stages that the development process involves, in applications, planning and analysis, understanding business requirements and defining the scope of the application, design, development, coding, testing, and deployment and maintenance. So, for example, that is the process that is going to be involved when develop, an application. We have to understand all the requirements that the business has, and let's define, all the scopes of the application. So that's why a lot of businesses, what they do is that they hire, like this type of companies that they develop applications for other companies. And that is based on the needs, as it says, planning and analysis. That's why they have to understand the business requirements or the business needs, and based on that, they are going to create those applications. Yeah. Due to the pandemic, yeah, as you probably remember, a lot of companies, started, like using or working remotely, and they started, thinking about working globally, and that's why they started using a lot of type of applications, and there are different type of them. So, but it's very important for those developers, to learn how to create them, but first they have to plan an analysis of it. And designing, creating the architecture and user interface of the application or the UX, UI and UX when designing this type of application. Probably you are not like a professional when creating applications, but now, thanks to artificial intelligence, we can create, our own applications. Yes, did you know that you can create it? It sounds very difficult and complex to create it, but now they're not. So, but when designing, it is very important, create the architecture and the interface of the application. Based, if you already have, like planned and done the analysis on the application, so it's very, important to think about the design when designing an application. Because in here, remember when we learn about the websites, when we learn about, like the blogs or those, topics that we've been talking about, it is also very important to think about the designing is the same with applications, Also now with access, they have to be, like accessible with accessibility for those people with any type of disability. If they have like a problem with their sight, with their hearing, So those applications are going to make, our life easier, and we are going to work more efficiently. Because also when using those like dark backgrounds, when using different type of colors, different type of fonts, and all different type, of, for example, keys or the brightness. So that thing is going to be very helpful for those people with any type of disability. So that's why they have to design. And also it has to be very, like friendly user. There are different type of applications. Some of them are cloud based, others, like web based. Also another one, we have also like for mobile applications, that they can be, used in different type of devices, just as tablets, like PCs, any type, of phones, smartphones. So that's why in here they have to be very friendly user and user, like friendly, because in them, so people can use it in any type of device, those applications. Some of them are web-based or mobile-based, like applications. Cloud. Okay, well, now it says development and coding, writing the actual code and integrating necessary functionalities. So, for example, in here, when creating an application, in here they need like working with a specific type of codes, and will have integrate all the things that are the functionalities that it really needs. That's why we need to be like very professional, like when creating this type of applications. But now, thanks to artificial intelligence, in that case, you don't have to worry about all these type of codes because it's very easy to create it. But we are just going to be like the final users, But for those people who developed, they sell this type of applications to other companies, and they are going to use, their product. Testing, ensuring the application meets business needs and functions correctly. It is very important for when develop, like an application to test it. Before launching, before launching all this, it has to be test. How you can, like send it to another, like people, probably you have heard about the beta version, there are a lot of beta versions, for example, before they launch an application, to the market. So they do this type of like testing, if that really works or not, or what changes or functionalities they can, eh, like being replaced or being, like modified. So that depends, but it's very important to ensure the application meets all the business needs and functions correctly. That's why people are work, they work for, because they want to get more, like information on it, and they want to get more, like a well done job or work. Deployment and maintenance, launching the application and providing ongoing support. So it is not that just we're going to launch this application and that's it, The thing is that they have to give maintenance on the websites, because they have to provide all the support, even for those. So that's why some of these, like applications or apps developers, they offer that service of technician, support for those final customers, because if not, we can have different type of problems, if the person is not well trained. So that's why it's very important to offer this type of maintenance, when working this type of, like applications. So planning, designing, coding, testing, and maintenance, when creating all these type of applications. Well, now in here, we have the next one in here, and it says, just let's continue. These are some of the several stages. What are some type of business application development? As I told you before, there are different type of, like business application developments, but also in here they are going to be included when talking about this type of applications. Remember when we talk about the B2B, B2C, or C2B applications, and also we have internal applications. These are some of the type of business applications. For example, when talking about the B2B, here we have, it says that B2B applications, business to business applications, are used between businesses partners. Some of the most common B2B applications include buy side, enterprise application, sell side, B2B, enterprise application, or e-marketplace, B2B, enterprise application. So all these type of applications, when they sell, when they have a company, when they build this type of applications, and they sell, as it says, or buy the enterprise application, because they're going to be, well customized based on the enterprise needs. So that's why they are going to use this, or the sell B2B enterprise applications. Also in here, they sell, the application, and or they buy it, between organizations or enterprises. Also the e-marketplace, B2B enterprise applications. So they sell it here, okay? And then we have the next one, that is the B2C applications. Yes, it says they are, software designed to facilitate transactions and interactions between businesses and individual consumers. These apps are the main goal of B2C apps. It's to make life easier for customers by helping them complete specific tasks quickly. There are various forms of B2C apps: e-commerce apps, loyalty apps, standalone apps. So for example, when you for example, like e-commerce apps, for example, we have used a lot of, like these applications that are really very easy for us to use. For example, when talking about, like eBay or Etsy, or even with Amazon, with those applications that we can have it, so are, like web or for mobile, applications, any here, or cloud applications, here we use these type of applications when you see, for example, like selling any type of product to other, or if you want to work, as a milestone between, the organizations. Remember when we talk about the drop shipping also, remember when you don't have to worry about, like any storage, because you are only work as a, like middleman, between the organization and the the final, like customer, and you just have to do that, like transaction, and then the delivery, inventory, it is not, you are not in charge of it, but those companies. That's why they are called drop shipping. And we use those type of application or your loyalty apps, that are always being used by those, like companies that they always work for us, or those applications that where they can work only individually or very specific for an enterprise. That's why there can be work, like with specific features, or they are, like well created with this type of applications. That's why the standalone apps, based on the requirements on the company. So they include different type of features in it. So those are the B2B. Okay. Also, we have the C2B for, when creating like a customers work as a freelancer, creating this type of applications. Then it says internal applications. They are software solutions specifically developed for internal use within an organization. They are dedicated to internal use. These are core enterprise apps for crucial business functionality. Business application example includes. So these are, the applications that are used, internal, in an internal form, just like for companies or businesses. For example, we have a human resource information system. For example, if you work for a company, yes, probably you already are using this type of applications. If you work for the human resource, like department, and you use this, for example, for when paying, payroll, for all this type of your candidates, when you want them, for example, like to take any type of, like test for the data of your employees. So there are different type of human resources, like applications that are really very, like helpful. Then inventory control system. This type of applications are really very, like well used for those companies that work in inventory. So if you use them, probably you already use them in your business or in your company for the one you work for. The things that in here they make, so you can have all your inventory in order. Remember when we talk about catalogs also, when they are, like well organized by number, by code, any type of code or type of the description on the product. So inventory control system. And this type of developers, they sell this type of software to companies. That's why the B2B. Communication software, this also type, of software that they really sell to other, like companies, for example, when communicating. Also, we have different types of software, that we can have for virtual conferences, when having, like meetings with other people, when you get communicated with them, even just like WhatsApp business, when you get like communicated with them. Accounting software. If you work or you're studying to be an accountant, also there are different type of software for accounting, when creating all this type of tasks that are really being made very easy, and faster for you. You work with numbers on the financial part of, of your enterprise, even, now that we have, like the power, that is an app that a lot of enterprises now are using, because they include them in their daily tasks, like the power, that is a great, like also application when making this type of presentation. If you work for your company and probably you're using them, and those are, like great. Service management solutions, reservation software, schedule management system, demand forecasting software. So you see all of them are specifically, like internal applications, that they are have been developed for only internal use within an organization. That's why they really are very, like functionality for businesses, because in then, they are very great for customers, and they it's like kind of automatization, that means that you can create or do a lot of tasks with less human resource, like using this. That doesn't mean that you won't be, like necessary in your company. You are the thing that is going to help you. So we need to be like very, like positive. You don't have to think that these machines are going, or this type of software are going to do the job for you. They are only going to help you. That's why companies are investing, in this type of applications in your businesses. So if you would like to use some of them, of course that you have to invest, you have to pay, but you have to start, like including in your plans, because in that, how for customers, they're going to, the process is going to be easier, it's going to be faster, it's going to be, like for them more, like friendly. So that's why they are really very used for internal usage, just like within organizations or companies. That, for example, you work in education, we have, different type of, like software, or if you work, for example, like in accounting, engineering, or in health field. So also there are different types. I just went to, the doctor, and when I had a checkup, like a yearly checkup, and I really love that way, when doctors, when they work with the health, like they have different type of applications for them, and they only show you, the tablet to see, for example, how your, like all your organs or your skin or your, muscles work. And you can see through those type of applications when they enter any your information, and they give you like the different type of results. So those are really great applications that for them is easier, and also for us, they give us the information, like clearer, it's well explained by them. What are some of the benefits of business applications in an organization? It says there are a lot of of benefits. Boost efficiency and increase productivity. Improve workplace communication. They strengthens customer relationships. They provide customer insights and optimize marketing strategies, reduce costly errors and mistakes. So these are some of the benefits when using applications in or within organizations. That is, very clear when it said that they boost efficiency and increase productivity. That is really very true, because when you, for example, some people, I know that we as human, we always have, like errors, but when using this, they're going to boost efficiency. For example, even when working with numbers for those operations, like in math, for some subtraction, multiplications, or any type, of problems in math, so it's going to increase also productivity. Even, for example, even imagine with inventory, so that's why they improve workplace communications also, because with those type of apps, you can have different type of, for example, I don't know if you have used or have heard about Trello or Trello. That is a great, I really recommend, like application that is really very helpful for organizations, because in there you can get well communicated with your customers, and you see there if they are working or not, what they are doing, what tasks, they have been assigned. You can see, for example, what's the progress. If they can, you make like a checklist of all the things you have to do. And once you have completed them, you just mark as completed. So your supervisor or your boss can see what you've been doing. Because the problem is that sometimes they think that probably you are not doing anything at your, in your job. But with this type of applications, you can keep all the information updated. Also, they strengthens customer relationships. Yes, because the work environment is going to be, like better. they're going to be because the things are, well being done. Provides customer insights, optimizes marketing strategies, and reduce costly errors and mistakes. If you are a perfectionist person, you will love all these applications. The thing that is going to reduce only some errors and mistakes. That doesn't mean that you won't have. Remember, those applications, those software, are, controlled by humans. So that's why we can just, for example, at any give it another different type of, like instructions, and they may fail, just that's why they need maintenance. So that's why they're going to reduce a type of errors and mistakes, but that doesn't mean that they won't have any errors. So if you are a perfectionist, you will love this, but remember that, always errors might happen. That's why it is always important to have like a plan B, when working with this type of applications in an organization, and we all really love them. What is an application developer? It says that an application developer is a professional who designs, creates, deploys, and updates programs for a particular device, the web, or a specific operating system. Developers typically specialize in one area of development, such as mobile phone applications, and what does an application developer do? What they do is that they got different type of responsibilities. For an app developer can vary depending on the specific project, organization, or industry they work in. Some common tasks and responsibilities of apps developers include conceptualizing and planning, designing user interfaces, developing and coding, testing and debugging, deployment and maintenance. So remember, the things that we like saw in the beginning, yes? So the stages when creating this type of, like applications. So they are done by application developers. That's the thing they do. And what they do is that they designs, creates, deploys, and updates programs for a particular device. So you might think, but you know why I am not like a developer, software on this type of applications, because it is a kind of complex. But that's why, we can just like use now, thanks to artificial intelligence, create them. Of course, that you have to know, the usage of them, but you can have an idea and you can use some of them when creating. You're not going to do it completely. You're just going to use, some of them when creating these type of applications. I have known people that have created applications and they are learning, they are earning money, they learn, and when they completely know, or when they are, like get all the knowledge on creating applications, so they start selling, their apps to another, like businesses, and they earn money, because that is something that is not easy, to create it. So that's why, but they are going to, as it says, all the responsibilities they have may vary, but depending on the specific, project or organizations for the one they work. It says custom business application development. It says that it is the process of designing, developing, and deploying software applications for the specific users that are tailor-made to meet the specific needs and requirements of a business organizations. So as you see here, it says, that in this case, what they do is that they can be work, with based on the company's requirement. It says custom design, unique features, easier integration, higher acceptance, freedom, better long-term returns, when creating this. Because when the developers, that design, they develop those type of software, they have to use like specific features, specific, like for specific users, because in there that depends on the needs an organization has and all the requirements for one. So that's why that's the one, like all companies use, because you can, there are, like softwares that have been, like created for just one task, and you can just buy the software, you start using this application in your, like organization. But if you want, for example, like having a specific or a different type of tool or task, you can do it. But in this case, you're going to invest or you have to pay more, because one of the benefits when working with this type of applications, as it says, custom design, that they are going to be, like differently, the way it works. So they're going to add specific features based on your organization requirements. As it says, unique features. So that's why it's going to be different from, like the competitors. Also, easier integration and freedom and better long-term returns. Because, also when creating this type of application, we have to think like in the future, because sometimes when giving maintenance, with all technician support, when having it, because they are going to, like make our life easier. So that's why I think we all have used this type of applications. Even when you go and buy or, get any type of product online, you use this type of applications. Or even if you study, when studying at university, you use any type of applications. When you visit the platform, when, you want to look at your grades, when working in any type of field, you are involved. So we all have used a lot of type of applications. And in here, we have some business apps, This is the one I just told you. We have the Trello, Teams, that is for education, Slack, Asana, Score. We have different type of apps, that are really well. You probably have used them, most of them, because we need to be involved now in technology when using this type of apps. So in here, I want to show you one video, and I'm going to show you some applications that are really very useful for, your business or your company, and also some developers around the world and even here in Guatemala. I'm just going to show you. Give me a moment. I'm going to show you here, and you'll see. I don't know if you're going to hear well. If not, I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to send the link for you via Telegram, so you can, like, yes, watch the video later, and you'll see how useful they are. I'm just going to show you here the video. Just give me a moment. This is loading, and I'm going to show you here some. Okay. Now I'm going to share with you. I don't know if you will be able to hear it or not, but I guess yes.
Hey, this is Scott from Savvy Professor, and welcome to our video on the best invoice apps for small businesses. You will find the links to the apps in the description, and make sure to watch until the end to know our verdict on which invoice app is the best from the list and why. Let's get started with Square Invoices, best for both service and product-based businesses. Square Invoices is an affordable invoicing app that is accessible to small businesses. Whether you choose the free or paid plan, you get unlimited invoices and can schedule recurring invoices. The transaction processing fees are also the same. The paid plan allows you to track your projects and customize your invoices by adding extra fields. The app also integrates with other Square products like inventory management and point of sale to manage sales. This app is suitable for service and product-based small businesses because there are tools to cater to both. The app also accepts most payment types. FreshBooks, best for user-friendliness. FreshBooks is one of the easiest apps to use for invoicing. It stands out because of its clean interface and simple terms, making it easy to maneuver and understand. The app does not offer a free plan. However, it has a free trial and a low-cost plan if you don't have many clients. You can upgrade your plan as your clients grow and get access to more features like unlimited proposals. It is suitable for small businesses that need an all-in-one invoicing solution that is easy to use. The app accepts online payments, but you will have to choose the pricier plans if you need more versatility in payment methods. Zoho Invoice, best versatile free app. The app is one of those mostly high-rated, offering a free invoicing solution to small businesses. It stands out because of its free, useful features, like tracking projects and converting estimates and projects into invoices. It offers a client portal for easy communication with clients and integrates with other Zoho products like Zoho CRM. This app is best suited for small businesses with a few clients because it is limited to 5 customers and 1,000 invoices per year. The only cost associated with the app is transaction fees when your invoice gets paid. So, which app is the best from the list? Our top.
Okay, so I'm going to, well, let's continue here. I'm going to show you we're going back to our presentation, and I'm going to show you here another one. You know, these apps is for, like invoices, that's what they say when creating this type of invoices. So if you work, for example, like in any type of business, we can use them and they make our life easier. But in here we have, like more applications for business, and for example, for human resources, but that depends. For example, in this, it says, where you can trust, it says best a human resources applications. So there are different types. That depends on the type of business for the one you work for. But okay, for example, we have here this type of, like applications that they can be used, for any type of, like person, and you can, like work with them. Some of them you have to pay, work a day, work daily plan, some of them are user-friendly interface, integration capabilities. They are, like accessible, as I told you, because in there, the team or your client should be able to view and manage appointments from anywhere. So they have access to this type of, like applications, flexible, automatic reminders, payment process, customization, customer support. And there are different type of, like applications for human resources or best payroll, So you see, there are a lot of types of applications, that we can use in our businesses, But this is based on human resources, So I'm going to share with you the link. So if you want to continue like having any or getting more knowledge on this type of applications, I invite you to check, some of them. And even here in Guatemala, there are different type of applications that have been created by Guatemalans. Also, there are different type of, like, for example, with Duolingo, you remember that Duolingo, that is an application that was created by, Luis Bonjas. You see there, these type of applications that were created in Guatemala, like Berto, Kidstore, Lolpop, El Caldo, yes, for Luis Bonja only. And I really love because I saw that also there are applications, for example, if you want, that is not for businesses, but those applications, for example, if you work with a sign, like with the sign with your, like language sign, when you communicate, with signs, and there is an application for you want to learn it for people, with any type of disability or for learning any type of languages or any type, like another, even for chess, there are different type of applications, not only for businesses, but, you can, there are those type of applications that have been, like made for us to use. That's why they make our life easier, So I want to thank you guys for your attention. Yes. Thank you very much for your attention. I haven't sent you all this presentation, but I'm going to do it, as soon as possible so you can have it with you. Okay. So I guess we don't have any questions. No, right? Okay. Thank you very much for your attention, and let's continue working next Sunday, okay? Enjoy your Sunday with your family and friends. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.